Hi, this is Tekla. It was great to see you all in class today. Thank you for participating. This is an intro to week 2, and what we're going to be looking at this week is the program mission, philosophy, and outcomes for firstborn. So what you've got for this week, I'm going to be going over this for you so you're clear on what's happening. Week 2 explained is what you're watching right now. It's the video. Every week we'll have one of these that kind of gives you an introduction to the week. And then objectives and assignments for this week include looking at the firstborn mission and theoretical framework. So you're going to read the mission and philosophy. That takes about 3 seconds. And then you're going to be looking at some of the underlying ideas that really inform our practice in firstborn and home visiting really in general, which is self-efficacy, family ecology, attachment, and it should say bonding actually there, but I will change that, but attachment, and then client-centered counseling. And there are written pieces about this week and videos about these first 3. The client-centered counseling is something that I found in the textbook that hasn't been covered in the firstborn training, if you've already had that. But I thought it really answered the question that a lot of home visitors have for me. What is the difference between what a home visitor does and what a counselor does? And the couple of pages in the book that talk about client-centered counseling for me really answered that question. So I'm hoping they do the same for you, and I would encourage you to check them out. And we're also going to look at program outcomes and look at how that works with what the goals are and then what happens for families when we implement those theories to support them. So what you're going to find this week is that it's helpful to continue reviewing Canvas. Take the tutorial if you haven't done that already. Read the documents posted in content and watch the videos. I'll be going through those. We'll be having another Zoom meeting next Wednesday, or this Wednesday if you're watching this in the second week. Then please do check out the website if you've never been there before, firstbornprogram.org. Then for the graded portions of the class, you'll be posting to the discussion board, taking a quiz, and writing an assignment. And I will go over those here so you can see them. So the content for week 2 has a little bit of pages from the book. And again, if you aren't very familiar with client-centered counseling, then I would check out these pages. If you've already had firstborn training, you're going to know a lot of this other stuff. And there is more information here that you can just click on, and the documents are already here. And again, if you've had firstborn training, you're going to know everything that's down here because that's all part of initial training. There is the firstborn annual report from last year. If you haven't seen that before, I'd encourage you to look at that. What we're going to be discussing in class this next week is a little bit about the client-centered counseling and other theories that underlie firstborn. And I wanted to talk about the Community Health Worker Code of Ethics, which is right here. It's 3 pages. You can really just read the bolded parts of them. You don't need to read the whole thing in detail. If you haven't read it, it's okay. We will discuss it in class. I would like people to come with some understanding of client-centered counseling and the 3 underlying theories of firstborn. It will make the discussion richer. But there really is no specific code of ethics for home visiting, so I wanted to just look these over so that we have an idea of what our code of ethics might be, because they're actually very similar to, I think, what a home visitor's code of ethics should be. There are videos, so if you don't feel like reading or don't have time or learn better from watching something, I picked out 3 videos about these different theories, and they're just 2 to 5 minutes. They're pretty fun. They might help you remember the topics a little bit more easily than reading. And then for the pieces that you'll be doing for grading, there is a read, reflect, apply. Again, we look at the objectives here, and then you're looking at answering these bulleted questions for part 1, part 2, and part 3. So if you've been doing this work for a while, you don't need to worry too much about what all this is. You can just look at the questions and see if you can answer them based on what you already know. If you're really new to home visiting, definitely read what's up here. It's going to help you know where to find the information so you can answer these questions. Again, look up here, glance it over, but as a seasoned home visitor, you're really probably going to know and be able to answer or say what you think about these 2 points without having to read too much background because you've already read it or had it presented to you during training. Same thing for part 3. You'll go through all of those. There is a discussion board which is focused on program mission and philosophy. So it looks at the program mission and how that ties to your own personal sense of calling or mission to doing work with families. So respond to that question in here and that thought, and then reply to 2 peers once they've posted their answers. And the posting for that just happens, I didn't go over that, let me show you that again in case you're confused. Right down here, you just do reply, and that's going to be your post. And then you can go into other people's posts and reply to them. If you have questions, again, feel free to reach out to me. There's a quiz for Module 2. I'm not going to go into it because it starts to grade me, but there it is. And you can do that. There will be a Zoom session posted here once we've got all this information up. And so you can join us on Wednesday at 1:30 for the class. And please, again, do come ready with some notes. Make sure you do your micro practice this week. It's the body scan. And again, you can Google that and find even a 45-minute guided body scan, and they can be something that you do lying down or sitting comfortably in a chair. And if you struggle with sleep, it's a great thing to do because it really might help you fall asleep or fall back asleep. And if not, while you're driving along, just kind of notice all the way from your toes, all the way up through your body to the tip of your head in a couple of minutes, just like, how do my toes feel? How do my feet feel? Breathe into your feet and your legs, and then feel your belly and your back, and just kind of breathe into those parts, see what your body's feeling like, and then notice, like after you've gone through your whole body in that noticing kind of way, how do you feel? Do you feel the same? Do you feel different? Are you focused on different ideas or thoughts than you were before you started? We'll start with a review of that micro practice as we start class on Wednesday. So I look forward to seeing you all in week 2, and thank you for your attention and your interest in this class.